me. Just jack. Easy. Ow.
Wrestling fans, I'm Dan Marani.
And I'm Mr. USA 2006 WWE Hall of Famer, Tony Atlas.
We're less than 48 hours removed from MWF Project X. It's the last MWF Ultra of the decade. Stand by.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Harley Race.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
And this is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
All right, wrestling fans, welcome to MWF Ultra. Tony, I'm still exhausted from this weekend.
Man, what a weekend. What a show. Did I tell y'all? I told y'all this is going to be good. I told y'all this is something you don't want to miss. And for all those that went, I know you happy that you went. And all those that didn't go, I know that you are waiting for the next one, because I'm sure all your friends came home and told you what a wonderful event that you missed. That was absolutely awesome, brother. That is better than any show you could have went anywhere on this planet. What a great show, Dan. You did a hell of a job, buddy.
I think
what
the
a
fans,
great job you did.
I think the
Fantastic.
I think the fans really enjoyed
Yes, they did.
us doing the talk show live and in person.
And it was good seeing all my old friends like Jerry Briscoe and Mark Henry and Vicky Guerrero and Evan Bourne, who is a new friend of mine, but he always been a friend. I knew him on the Independent, and I knew him in the WWE, ECW.
Yeah.
So, man, what a show, Dan. You did one heck of a job,
Well, it
son.
was a team
One
effort. It
heck
was
of a job.
David,
Can't wait for you to do another one.
It was David Reese, it was Chairman Manolian, it was yourself, it was me. There were a lot of fingers in the pot on this one. We had a great time. We're going to be setting sail up in the air, baby, down to Tampa, Florida for WrestleMania 36 weekend. It's going to be WrestleCon. We're going to be back together again. We're going to have more friends with us at the big autograph photo fan fest.
I can't go.
Why?
Sinkholes.
What?
Sinkholes.
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 You're worried you're going to fall into the
Florida
sea.
got sinkholes.
Yeah.
And I saw on TV the other day, at that big flood they had, they got these gigantic pythons that crawl around.
What flood?
Python. These
What
big,
flood?
Big snakes.
What flood?
They had the hurricane hit Florida.
When?
They
They
in
hit
Florida.
Tampa?
Yeah, they're all
When?
over the place. I saw them on the TV.
When was there a
They got
hurricane in
these great
Tampa?
big snakes, 100 feet long snakes.
When was there a hurricane in Tampa?
Not in Tampa, but in Florida.
All right, in Florida.
Right, when it hit and it flooded everything, all these snakes got loose. Gigantic python crawling around, eating cars, eating people. They got mosquitoes there that is big as your fist. They got alligators. Alligators now that can run 60 miles per hour. And
60 miles an hour?
yeah, 60 miles per hour. Alligators come and eat you, crawl into your house, into your living room. I saw on the TV where this guy go to catch alligators, right? And what he do? The alligator got in the woman's kitchen. She thought it was one of the kids playing. She go in that alligator in her kitchen. I saw this snake they catch the other day. The guy went and caught this big snake. The snake was 18 feet long.
18 feet long?
18 feet long, that gum boy, because it had a head as big as your hand. If you want me to go to Florida and get eaten by an alligator or swallowed by a snake or fall into a sinkhole or get stung by a gigantic mosquito?
I'll protect you.
Well, okay, I'll go.
All right, we'll go. We'll go. We'll have a good time. All right, Tony, we set sail down to Tampa, WrestleMania 36 weekend. I'm sure it's going to be huge. One of the biggest wrestling weekends in history when you add up everything that's going to happen that weekend because of WWE's...
And they have women wrestlers again.
No. Yeah, they'll have some of that too. Then the weekend after that, Tony, we're going to be together 3 weekends in a row. Saturday night, April 11th, we do it all over again down at that big gray castle, Memorial Hall. It's going to be MWF Project X, WrestleFest, back to the 80s.
Wow.
We're going to go back in the time machine. Tony, you and I are going to be there. And
that's going to be great.
Who is Dr. David Reese put together to be there, Tony? An enemy of, certainly in the past, an enemy of mine, and someone that certainly, because of this talk show, has been at times discussed as an enemy of yours. We're talking about, on my end, Jake the Snake Roberts.
He's not an enemy of mine.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about me. Jake the Snake Roberts, because of his issues with personal demons in the past, he did some damage to Millennium Wrestling Federation live events. David Reese has put together an agreement to have Jake be with us on April 11th back in Melrose as part of Back to the 80s, the WrestleFest. But Tony, for you, you're going to have to see a man that became discussed quite a bit as a result of Brian Blair, that being a man that's been here in this studio, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
Yes. Well,
Are you going to fight in the parking lot in Melrose?
No. Well, you see, me and Paul, if you ever notice, everybody talk about what happened between us.
Yeah.
Except for us.
Yes.
Because we felt so bad that we got to that point. Because Paul had always been one of my best friends. And
you like Paul?
I like Paul a lot.
I like you both an awful lot.
I like Paul. I like Paul a lot. And Paul, as we all well know, he's in a lot of pain here lately. Paul suffered from cancer, but he's like Bobby the Brain. He fights it. And when you meet him, he never complained about his illness. He never complained about being sick. He always enjoyed meeting the fans. He always treated me like gold whenever he met me. So meeting Paul Orndorff is going to be something that is, he's a wonderful individual. And it kind of breaks my heart to see such a big, strong, scrapping ex-football player, ex-wrestler, ex-weightlifter, ex-bodybuilder to be in that type of condition. But his spirit is good. He got his head up. He always loved the fan. And he's the type of guy who would never say no to no one. He would sign your paper. He would take a picture with you. He's a great individual, and I'm looking forward to seeing him again. Always look forward. We had a misunderstanding many years ago. And it got blown out of proportion. It didn't happen nowhere close to where people tell it. But as Magdal Vachon said, if a story is worth telling, it's worth embellishing.
Yes.
So everybody that tell a story, they would add something to it. I'll give you a prime example what I'm talking about. I went to Japan, and we would fly back from Japan. The first stop was always Hawaii. And so we go to Hawaii, we do a show in Hawaii. They just had a Philippine wrestler there. It was ran by
Peter Maivia.
Maivia,
and his wife,
grandma. The Rock grandmother. Peter Maivia, my wife, ran it. And then from there, we go to L.A. and we do a show in...
for the LaBelles?
Yeah, in L.A. Where I stay in a hotel that is called the Beverly Hillcrest off of Worcester Boulevard. Beverly Hillcrest. So they have valet parking. So we wanted to party a little bit, but I didn't want to lose all my money.
Yeah.
So I had probably about $10,000 on me. So I took out $1,000, put it in my wallet. I used to carry a wallet, then I carry this fanny pack because I don't lose nothing. I carry my wallet, but it always would drop out of my pocket. So I got out of my car. We went out to dinner. We went out and bought some alcohol, bought a bag of weed, and me and this girl, we gonna go to the room. We're gonna party. And I reached in my pocket to tip the guy that was carrying my bags and stuff. I couldn't find my wallet, so I went back downstairs. My wallet was gone. And the guy said, well, how much money do you have in your pocket? So I added up. I said, I must have spent about maybe $500 or $600. So I probably got about $400 or $500 that was in my wallet. And they said, well, Tony, you're never going to see that again. So I get to the dressing room. I tell the guys about what happened. I fly back to Newark, New Jersey airport. Special delivery, SD Jones picked me up at the airport. Now I had about maybe $400 in my wallet. He said, Tony, I hear you lost $2,000. This is overnight. So it went from $400 to $2,000 by morning. So let's say I lost my wallet Saturday. I told the story Saturday night. Sunday morning, it jumped overnight from $400, $300 or $400, or $400 or $500 to $1,000. I heard the story not too long ago about that. It's up to $20,000 now.
They said you lost $20,000 in that one night in your wallet. It must have been a pretty big wallet.
Every time that story get told, I lose another $1,000. I only had 10. How can I lose 20?
Right.
But it's up to $20,000.
It's up to
Because that's
20.
what they used to pay back in the older days. If you stay for 1 month, it was $2,500 a week in Japan. Plus all your room and board, your airfare, and all your expenses.
Which promotion did you work for in Japan?
Total Noki.
So New Japan.
Yeah, no, it wasn't no New Japan then. It was just Noki and Baba. There was no New Japan.
They weren't called New Japan and All Japan back then?
This is in the 70s. No, the New Japan wasn't around there. It was only two organizations, Baba and Inoki.
Right, but Baba ran All Japan and Inoki ran New Japan.
Was that New Japan?
Yeah.
Antonio Inoki.
Antonio Inoki.
Antonio Inoki. Yeah. That's who I work for. I learned a lot from the Japanese people. You know.
What
They
did you
have
like about Japan?
Well, I like the way things is run. They don't need the safety nets that we got.
Yeah.
They got a saying in Japan: first impression, last impression. Because they got a belief that everybody's on their best when you first meet them.
Right.
So if this person is a jerk when you meet them,
What are they going to be like in the future?
Right. They're not going to get any butter. And you know the wrestler adopted that too. They went by how you, when they were breaking guys in the business in the older days, when you want to be a wrestler, your attitude was very, very important before they show you the first thing. Mm-hmm. If you had a bad attitude, the wrestler wouldn't waste time on you.
They wouldn't want you.
They would not waste time on you. So they adopted that belief because a lot of guys like Terry Funk or Briscoes, they spent a lot of time in Japan. In fact, everything that Abdullah the Butcher owned came from Japan or Puerto Rico. He made most of his money in Japan, Puerto Rico. The late Bruiser Brody and Terry Funk, most definitely. You know, he was the booker for Japan for a while, I believe. So Japan has always been real good for wrestling. Real good for wrestling.
Well, our friend Jay Freddy, who we originally thought was going to be with us at MWF Project X, he's on an extended tour of Japan through January. So we wish him a lot of great luck, and hopefully he'll be with us this spring.
He is going to love it.
Tony, it's been a heck of a decade here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation, the Northeast, North Carolina, our homecoming here in Boston, the Boston Wrestling Talk Show series that debuted, the great videos that we've produced, the interviews with wrestling's great legends.
Yeah.
Look at the remarkable 10 years, both in our professional lives, our personal lives, and I'm very excited to see what unfolds in the new year in 2020 and the new decade. You and I and some other friends head down to WrestleCon in Tampa, Florida in April. Then the big one, Saturday, April the 11th, it's going to be open to all no matter what age you are. We go back to the 80s for WrestleFest. You, Jake the Snake Roberts, Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. It's going to be a huge spring here in the Millennium Wrestling Federation.
We got a great future ahead of us and ahead for the wrestling fan. And like I said, it's wonderful for y'all to come out and see this stuff. Now I know a lot of you was in Philly, but nobody ever knew that in Philly that was going to be the last time that they would see King Kong Bundy. I went to shows a couple of years back. Or was it a year ago, the passing of Nikolai Volkov?
Yep.
And he was advertised on the poster, you know. So nothing is forever. Everything have a end. Everything got a beginning. Everything got to be an end. One day, you may get a guy autograph, and you may say, "Oh, I can't wait to see him on the next show." Next show comes, he's not around. So if you get opportunities, don't always knock twice. So you get an opportunity to go and see some of these old superstars from the past, all those that got a Jimmy Snuka autograph or met Jimmy Snuka. You know, you will never forget that. All those that met and shook hands with Andre the Giant, you'll never forget that. But you will never get that chance again. You know, so take advantage of every opportunity you get to meet some of these great wrestlers. A lot of them I got a great deal of respect for them because a lot of them helped me. Like you all hear me say 1,000 times, my success in life I owe to thousands and thousands of people. My success. My failure in life I only owe to Tony Atlas because I am the captain of my own ship. So I made mistakes in my life that I regret, I'm not proud of, but I own up to it. I'm man enough to own up to my mistake, but I also carry in my heart Bruno Sammartino, Harley Race, Nikolai Volkov, King Kong Bundy, and the list go on and on and on of great athletes that I had, great wrestlers,
yep,
that I had the wonderful opportunity. I had the opportunity of hanging out with Muhammad Ali for a week. Great opportunity. I just met Mike Tyson a couple of years back.
Yep.
Great opportunity. I met so many great people. I just met what's his name not too long ago. I was at a show. Tony Danza.
Tony Danza, yeah.
Tony Danza. Karma Electric. You know, I just took pictures with
Now,
Karma
when you met Tony Danza, did he mention anything to you about Catherine Hellman?
No, I asked him about her. I told him that I had a crush on her.
What did he say about Catherine?
I told him that I had a crush on her when I was a kid, and he said, "You and thousands of others."
They all had a crush on Catherine Hellman.
Oh, yeah, I thought she was a hottie. I thought she
Really?
was a hottie.
You thought
Yeah.
Catherine Hellman was a hottie?
Yeah.
All right.
And then the lady that played Hot Lip Houlihan was there.
Hot-lipped Houlihan?
Yeah, what is her name?
I have
On
no
Nash,
idea
Mash.
who Nash was a little before my
Yeah.
time.
Can y'all zoom in on that there?
Oh, I'm sure they can get a shot of it for us to
Yeah,
insert.
that's me and old Tony Danza.
Yeah.
And for all you guys, I'm going to make y'all jealous because I got a picture with Karma Electric. And she's wearing my WWE Hall of Fame ring.
Really? I think
Yes,
you need
I
to
let
turn
her
it to
wear
the
it.
side,
See
Tony.
that?
All right, let's take a
See
look.
she holding the hand there? Look at that, huh?
It's a beautiful picture. Geez, Tony Danza's not much, a little tiny guy, huh?
I was there with the Hall of Famer, WWE Hall of
Dustin?
Famer, Ted DiBiase,
Ted
$1
DiBiase.
million
All right.
man.
All right, Tony. Well, unbelievable. You continue to go out, meet, greet celebrities, fans, no matter where you go. Again, 2020 is going to be a big one. I can't wait for those 2 big live events you're seeing
And
on
I
your
like
screen
this
right
picture.
now. What do
You
we
gonna
got?
like this one.
You got another one. What do you got?
You gotta like this one.
Who's this?
You gotta make us some copies of that one down.
This is...
Somebody
look at all
put
these
that
clips.
together
Oh,
for
cover
me.
of a magazine clips. You and Nate, you and Holly Race.
All world champions.
All world champions.
All
That's
world
right.
champion.
Wow. Now, where did you get that picture?
Yep. Nick Bockwinkel, AWA world champion.
Yeah.
Ric Flair, NWA world champion. Harley Race, NWA world champion. And Hulk Hogan, WWF world champion. All world champion. And 3 of them is going for a flight.
They're going up for the ride,
All
baby.
world champion right there. Me and Nick Bockwinkel. Yeah.
Well, leave those photos out so we can at least take a picture of them. God bless. So
Yeah.
the fans can see what it is we're looking
Y'all see me
at.
sneezing because what happened? I got this big old nose, and then when I take a deep breath, things go up in my nose. The other day, Dan, and this not jousting, I blew out an 18-wheeler.
Really?
Yeah, when I hold my head back, I look like a 2-car garage.
All right, well, Tony, it's going to be a great new year. We have 3 big events we're already talking about in the months of March and April. For my good friend, the Hall of Famer, Mr. USA, Tony Atlas, I'm Dan Maratti. Remember, tomorrow, 11 o'clock, Wrestling Insiders with Tony Atlas is back. Then next week, next Monday night, 7 p.m. before Raw, we kick off the new year, the new decade, MWF action right here on MWF Ultra. You and yours, be well.